1,500,
Yeah.
correction. Yeah, 1,500 nautical mile. And then that, you're typically talking about a flight range between like 2.5 to maybe 3.5 hours. And again, they can land on short runways.
Nice.
Access to a lot of less busier airports. That's a big thing too with a lot of these travelers. They want in and out. They don't want to be, taxiing and waiting on hold and like, in a line 10 minutes. And, these planes range again in the 4 to 475 mile range in speed. So yeah, they're very very popular size jet.
Absolutely. So we've covered the light business class, and then what comes in there after that?
So now you're talking New York to pretty much LA, 5 hours of flying. You're talking a lot more amenities. Same thing, they can still land on smaller runways, which gives them access to thousands of airports across the U.S. And some of them even rated to go transcontinental. So some of these things can go over and fly over the ocean. Once one quick fuel stop and they're over the ocean. Same thing, these cruise start to generally go up into the, I want to say 400s.
Okay.
Into the, maybe some of them in a performance-wise can get into the 500s and really get cruising up at altitude.
Gotcha. Okay. So we covered light. We went to the mid-size business. What comes after the mid-size business jets?
We're talking, you got a lot more room for those. And now you're talking ranges, and non-stop ranges are going way up. Now you're starting getting into the 3,400 to 3,700 mile category. So now that opens up, like say again, continental U.S. coast to coast nonstop, which obviously all these business travelers and private jet travelers on the personal trips, they want that range because they don't want to be stopping.
Yeah.
Now cruise speeds on these things get up to about 590 miles an hour.
Wow.
So these things can really get going when they're up at altitude.
That's what, like 0.7 Mach?
Yeah, you're in that range. Yeah.
0.7 Mach,
you're
for
in
those
that
of you who are
range.
thinking about Mach speeds and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
if you want to get really technical, some of these jets can get up there.
Yeah.
When they're up at altitude, 40,000 and up, these things start to cook across the countries, across the oceans. And then, and that's really what, that's the name of the game is, not bigger to flaunt, but bigger for accessibility, luxury, and range. That's the biggest thing, and efficiency.
Right, because absolutely. I mean, when you think about it, we talked about 3-4 classes now. And the difference is size, so there's a convenience and comfort. How cramped you are. Also, height-wise.
Height's a big thing.
Right, in light jets, you're not going to stand up. There's no standing up unless if you're,
5 feet
Kevin
tall.
Hart.
Yeah.